H.M.S. Warrior. This is a map of the British Empire. It was a familiar sight to every Victorian schoolchild. A quarter of the world was ruled by Great Britain. Aden, Anguilla, Australia, Bahamas, Bahrain, Barbados, Botswana, Bermuda, Belize, British Somaliland, Brunei, Canada. 62 countries and territories were ruled by Queen Victoria, Empress of India. The reason that this was possible was that, since the Battle of Trafalgar in 1805, Britannia ruled the waves. The Royal Navy was twice the size of its biggest rivals and was able to project British military power and protect its colonies in every corner of the globe. The trouble was, having been beaten in the Napoleonic Wars, in 1858 the French were challenging the Royal Navy again. Under the leadership of Napoleon III, France was building a new kind of warship, an ironclad called Le Glory. The Glory was going to be a wooden propeller-driven steamship, covered with thick iron armour plating and armed with new shell-firing guns. It was going to be more than a match for any ship in the Royal Navy. Queen Victoria and Prince Albert were furious. Something must be done, and quickly. The answer was to be the most powerful ship in the world, H.M.S. Warrior. Longer than any other warship, H.M.S. Warrior was protected by a thick layer of armour plate mounted over teak, and its sides bristled with 40 of the biggest guns. Many of the guns were breech loading and fired explosive shells. Life on the gun decks was not a lot different than in Nelson's day. The men lived, ate and slept together around their guns. Every morning they would send someone here to collect their ration of grog, which was water mixed with rum. Some things were better than in Nelson's day. The men could have baths. There was a laundry equipped with the latest washing machines. And there was a kitchen where the hot meals were cooked. This is the issue room, where men could go to collect their food. This is where the men's personal possessions were stored. There were weapon stores of rifles and racks of swords, all handy for ready use. If the men did something wrong, they could be locked up in these cells. They might even be flogged with whips like these. However, sailors in Queen Victoria's Navy were professional sailors who had all volunteered to serve. Punishments were not needed very often. Life for the officers was very different from the men. This is the wardroom, where the officers ate and relaxed together. This is one of the officers' cabins. And this is the captain's day cabin. Down in the bottom of the ship was the stokehold. Here 16 men shovelled tons of coal into 40 furnaces to power the powerful ship's engines. The men would use long pokers and rakes to tend the fires in the face of searing heat. H.M.S. Warrior could not carry enough coal to use steam all the time, so the ship could also use its sails instead. This ship led the way as the Royal Navy changed from sail to steam and kept ahead with the advances of technology. Thanks to her, Britannia would still rule the waves for years to come. More advances in ship design were to quickly follow, and after just 10 years of service, HMS Warrior was already obsolete. Over the years, she was used as a depot ship, a training ship, and finally a floating oil jetty at Milford Haven. In 1979, HMS Warrior was taken to be beautifully restored at Hartlepool. You can visit her today with the other historic ships at Portsmouth Naval Base.